The Christmas Present. "What shall we give Mummy for Christmas, Ginny?" said Johnny. "I see something I know she would like," said Ginny. "It's in the jeweller's shop window. Come and see, Johnny." So Johnny went down to the village with Ginny, and she showed him what she'd seen. It was a small brooch, and in the middle of it was the letter M in blue. "There, M for Mummy," said Ginny. "Wouldn't you love to see Mummy wearing a brooch like that we gave her?" "Yes, it would be nice," said Johnny. "I'm sure Mummy would love it too. And when people say to her, 'Dear me, I didn't know your name was Margaret or Molly or Mary,' she can say it isn't. It's Mummy." "It's 5 shillings," said Ginny. "That's a lot of money, especially as if we have to buy presents for other people too." "We'd better try and earn some," said Johnny. "We'll ask Cook if she knows of a way we can earn money. We might chop wood or something like that." But Cook said nobody would let them chop wood. They would only chop their fingers instead. "Now I'll tell you what to do," she said. "You go down to old Mrs. Kennett. She wants someone to do her shopping for her each day. She can't walk up and down the hill where she lives on these frosty, slippery mornings. I'm sure she'd give you a penny each errand." Well, Mrs. Kennett was very pleased to see the twins, and delighted to think they'd fetch her shopping for her. "I can take my doll's pram to fetch it in," said Ginny, "and Johnny can take his barrow. Then we can bring quite a lot back for you, Mrs. Kennett. Potatoes and cabbages and all kinds of things. It will be fun." "It will be a good job of work," said the old lady. "Good work never hurt anyone, and good work should be paid for. I'm sure you're saving up to buy Christmas presents, aren't you? Well, I will pay you each 2pence every time you fetch my goods for me. That will be 4pence between you." "That won't be too much for you to pay, will it?" asked Ginny. "We really meant to do it only for a penny a time." "Well, I'm paying you 2pence because of your having to come up the steep hill," said Mrs. Kennett. "That's only fair. Now you can begin today if you like. The greengrocer has some carrots and onions for me, and I want a loaf of brown bread, and a book from the library, and a bag of flour." It was quite a lot of shopping to do. Ginny took her empty pram, and Johnny took his little barrow. They got all the things that Mrs. Kennett wanted, and then wheeled them back up the hill to her house. She was so pleased. "Here's your 4pence," she said, and she gave 2 brown pennies to Ginny and 2 to Johnny. They ran home in glee and put them into their money boxes. They told Mummy what they were doing for Mrs. Kennett, and Mummy said she thought they ought to help the old lady for nothing. But still, as they were saving up for Christmas, she was sure that Mrs. Kennett was pleased to pay them. "But you must do some of her errands for nothing," said Mummy, "just to show her that you can be kind for no payment at all." So every 3rd time they went on errands for Mrs. Kennett, the twins wouldn't take the pennies. "We're doing your shopping today for nothing," they told her. "We want to." Each day they counted up their money for Mummy's Christmas present, and on the day before Christmas, what a wonderful thing! They'd earned 5 shillings and 4pence between them. "Now we can go and buy the brooch with M on," said Ginny, and off they went. They pushed open the door of the little jeweller's shop and went inside. "Please, can we have the brooch with M on?" asked Johnny, putting 5 shillings down on the counter. "We want it for our mother." "Oh dear, we sold it yesterday," said the girl. "I'm so sorry. It was the only one we had." The twins were dreadfully disappointed. They looked around the shop trying to find something else that Mummy might like, but everything was so very, very expensive. They hadn't nearly enough money. They went out. Ginny's eyes were full of tears. "Tomorrow's Christmas Day," she said, "and most of the shops have sold their nice things now. We shan't be able to choose anything nice for Mummy." Johnny had his little barrow with him, because Mrs. Kennett had asked him to bring back her turkey from the butcher's. "We'd better take this turkey to Mrs. Kennett," he said. "She will be waiting for it. We might have time to run down to the village afterwards and find something for Mummy." They took the turkey in the barrow all the way up the hill. Mrs. Kennett asked them in. "I've got some chocolate buns for you," she said. "Oh dear me, what solemn faces! Whatever is the matter?" "Oh, Mrs. Kennett," said Ginny, "we've been working for you all this time and saving up to buy Mummy a lovely brooch, and now it's sold, and it's too late to buy Mummy anything nice now. All the best things are gone." "Well, that's very sad," said Mrs. Kennett. "But wait a minute. Let me see now. I've some jewellery I'm going to sell. Maybe I've a little brooch that your mother would like, one that I could give you, because you've been so very, very good to me." "That wouldn't do," said Johnny. "We've earned the money and we wanted to spend it on Mummy. It wouldn't be the same if you just gave it to us for her. It really wouldn't be from us then." "Well, then you may buy it from me if you feel like that," said Mrs. Kennet, smiling. "I'll fetch my jewellery case." She came back with a big leather box. She undid it, and oh, what a lot of pretty things were there. Brooches and bracelets, necklaces and pins, but most of them were old and had lost their glitter and shine, and some of them were broken. Suddenly, Ginny gave a cry and pounced on a little brooch. Look, here's a brooch with M on it, and tiny little blue forget-me-nots all around it. It's much, much prettier than the one in the shop. Oh, Mrs. Kennet, did one of your children give this to you years ago?" "Oh, no," said Mrs. Kennet. "It belonged to my aunt. Her name was Mary Ann, and that's why the brooch has an M on it. M for Mary Ann. I was going to sell it, but if you like it, well, I'll sell it to you. The letter M on it will do quite well for Mummy." "Is it very expensive?" asked Ginny. "It's so very pretty. I'm afraid it will cost more money than we've got." "It's 5 shillings, said Mrs. Kennet, and the twins gave a shout of joy. "We've got more than that. Can we clean the brooch and take it home with us? Oh, here's the money, Mrs. Kennet. Oh, it's a much, much nicer brooch than the other one." They cleaned the brooch, put it into a little box and took it home. They wrote a lovely little message on it and put it on the breakfast table for Mummy the next morning. "Oh," she said when she opened it, "twins, what a wonderful present. M for Mummy, and forget-me-nots all around it. Oh, it's my nicest present." "Yes, M for Mummy and forget-me-nots to tell you we'll never forget you," said Johnny, giving his Mummy a hug. "I'm glad you like it." Mummy did. She wears the brooch every single day. Now, wasn't that a wonderful Christmas present?